Nice County Talk. We are live with another episode of the Pavis Perspective. George, episode 150. 150. That's mad, isn't it? That's mad.
It's mad. Landmark.
It is. It's a landmark. I've enjoyed doing it. I mean, I've enjoyed talking about the football. I'm not sure I've enjoyed necessarily doing it with you, but there's been some laughs, especially I think when we've had people like Jordan and Will on. You've been all right though.
Yeah,
you've been all
right. Yeah. Yourself too.
Oh, thank you very much. No, we massively appreciate anybody that for 150 episodes, if you've been with us for half of an episode, if you've been with us for all 150, which this is crazy, but I know there are a few people that have been with us almost every single episode. The fact we built a community, fans, that are messaging in this chat an hour before we go live. It's amazing. We absolutely massively appreciate it. As always, we are powered by Better Bytes. Use the code Pavis Perspective for discounts off refurbished computers or computer repairs. Drop us that 5-star review if you're listening back on Spotify. And I'll tell you what, if you could, for 150th episode, if you could head over and subscribe to the channel, click that red button, put the notifications on. We are going to be with you until the end of the season and well beyond. We were thinking we were just throwing numbers out there, weren't we, George? We were thinking possibly going for maybe another 60 years.
Something like that. Yeah, 60, 70 years. Yeah.
What do you reckon Notts will have won in 60 years? Nothing.
I think Maynard might have got manager of the month.
Oh, unreal. If he does, that's class. Genuinely, though, if you were to talk about the next 5, 10, 15 years, it's too hard. Football's too difficult to predict about what's going to happen, but you'd like to think in the next sort of 20, 30 years, imagine we could have won something significant like whatever it's called now, Johnson's Paint Trophy. Would be class. Be so
How significant would you say that would be?
A Johnson's Paint Trophy win? What? How am I scoring it? Out of 10?
How could we score it in a fun way?
7.
Yeah, 7.
7. That's all I'm saying.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Significance. Yeah, to win a trophy, but it's not a big trophy, is it? Doesn't change your life. Although there was a ridiculous thing where, we're going off topic here, where like Portsmouth and Sunderland met, didn't they, or something like that? And it was like an 80,000 attendance, or have I dreamt that? Anyway. Yeah, someone's already got the anagram. The Dutch Maldini Sivold Sprockel. Yeah, that was very quick for you, to be fair. Very quick for anyone. But yeah, that is correct. Sivold Sprockel was the anagram. Lots to talk about in tonight's show then. Deadline day is also coming upon us. I think it's the 3rd of Feb. It just straight used to be the 31st of January, didn't it? And they just used to shut it at midnight. And now they've got all these gimmicks. The 3rd of Feb. Last week I said I wasn't sure what we needed. I'm pretty sure on what we need now. I don't know if you're the same, George. We're going to chat about that. We're going to chat about the Bromley game and then the Carlisle game. And then looking ahead to Gillingham, who are one of the strangest teams in the league, in my opinion. I just don't really know. I don't really understand. It must be pretty tough being a Gillingham fan, especially the last couple of years. So, yeah. George, go back to Bromley then. Saturday. We said in the nest it could be tricky. How confident before kickoff were you that we were about to get 3 points?
Fairly confident, I mean, I always sort of go into any game, really. It could be top, could be bottom, thinking, this could be a banana skin and we could struggle here. But there is a layer underneath there of me thinking, but we can also win this. You know what I mean? Especially this season. I think we can beat anyone on our day. Potentially, we need 1 or 2 more players added, I think. But, time will tell whether that's going to happen or not. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed not to win that game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I feel like Bromley at home. I know they're a very decent side this season, but you've got to win that game. 100%. I don't really see a way around. Like, you have to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get promoted, and someone will find me a stat now that says something like Walsall didn't beat Bromley at home. Actually, they didn't, did they? They lost to Bromley at home. But we have to be winning that. We have to be doing that. Mike says, you're doing tonight's show in your dressing gowns. No, I've got an Adidas jumper on, Martin.
Plural, isn't saying both of us or dressing gown.
He means that we both doing it in our dressing gown. To be fair,
I'm still in my work gear. I am just.
I don't even know if I own. I don't even know if I own a dressing gown. To be fair,
Yeah, you do.
But I could wear one if I have one next episode.
I thought you still had that Colton Town one, didn't you?
They definitely don't make Colton Town dressing gowns.
They did.
It's Baseford United anyway, you idiot.
Fair enough.
Sorry,
Easy to say to me, isn't it?
sorry, and you riled me quite a lot for out of me saying that. To be fair, no, but don't share stuff like that. Someone said Robin Hood outfits, but yeah, no, but you've got to win the game against Bromley. I know they've got Michael Cheek. Some people said Michael Cheek was poor. I thought he actually for the first half had Matty Platt's number, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. But other than that, I mean,
not much.
He didn't really offer much, did he? But that's the thing with him. He sort of pop up in one moment, and that is the difference, isn't it? So
yeah, would you take him?
Probably not. You know.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like it would be a bench woman signing.
So Plymouth put in a £4 million bid on deadline day for Jatta, and we have a deal for Michael Cheek ready.
£4 million.
He scored again in the week.
£4 million
for Jatta.
Your head's gone, mate.
4 million for Jatta because it's late on deadline day. It inflates prices, doesn't it? Massively. 4 million for Jatta, maybe even 5, maybe 6. Maybe 6. If he scores that transfer round to keeper against Bromley, it's 6. It's 6 million. And no, but genuinely, let's say he went and Michael Cheek came in, would you be happy as a straight replacement for Jatta?
No.
No. The bloke scored 1 less goal than Jatta. What, to see us over the line?
So you'd be happy with that?
Would I be happy with Michael Cheek replacing Jatta if on deadline day Jatta left? Yeah.
You'd be happy with that?
Who are we getting better than Michael Cheek on deadline day? What?
Deadline day or not deadline day, it doesn't matter. That's just rubbish.
No. The guy scored 12 goals already this season. After coming up from National League, he scored double figures in the last 8 seasons. Come on.
No. What? I don't foresee that being a good thing.
I'm not saying he's better than Jatta.
In hindsight.
I'm not saying that's better than Jatta. But on deadline day, you are not getting a better signing than Michael Cheek. It's hypothetical. It's not happening anyway because I've heard that we've rejected an 8 million offer.
What do you think the reaction online would be?
What if we got 4 million for Jatta and?
This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous conversation.
If we sold Jatta and bought in Michael Cheek, what do you think? What do I think?
Yeah.
I think if that happened in the middle of the window, I think people would be questioning it. I think if it happened on deadline day, people would be up for it. I'd be up for it. You're not going to get better than that. I also thought we'd sign this guy from Cardiff. Where's that gone?
Yeah, it seems to have gone a bit quiet, doesn't it? It seemed to. A few sources are saying it was confirmed.
They were saying it's literally done. You know what it means, don't you? Mariah's back up. If we got to deadline day, how would you feel if it got deadline day and we sold Jatta and started games with Mariah's? How would you feel then?
Not good.
No, not good. How would you feel if he was back up? Because, I mean, we've got 4 days left of the window and we haven't actually signed. We haven't got confirmation of this guy from Cardiff. And right now, Junior Rice is our backup with 4 days left of the window.
I think he's going elsewhere. I think he's probably maybe getting a loan move somewhere else, or we're selling him. Because I was never overly impressed with what I saw of him playing for Notts. I've seen he's done a few decent things for Dagenham this season, got some decent goals. But I don't know, I was just never really that impressed with him. I felt like he was a bit in between of what he could offer. Do you know what I mean? Is he a running behind kind of player? Sometimes. He could hold it up sometimes.
I don't actually know what his style is or anything.
Yeah. it's difficult. It's definitely difficult, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll work for him. But I mean, if he comes back, he's back up. He's got to take that chance, hasn't he? If that is going to happen, and I suppose at this point, where we are in the league, and we've obviously invested quite a lot. I think we paid a fee for Jarvis, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there's
Undisclosed,
definitely a
I think.
level of belief there, and investment there. So yeah, I
Ian
mean,
says Jatta off to play for Gambia in March.
exactly, and that's another thing. It's probably, I suppose, it's a symptom of having these sort of hidden gem sort of players, isn't it?
Like,
Potential. Jody as well.
yeah. The word that comes to mind is that obscure, like from obscure nation.
It's a good one, because that's probably he is probably our most obscure signing.
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
It came out of the complete blue, didn't it?
Yeah.
When the news was first released, you were thinking, nah, no way, and then it did materialize. But yeah, we 100%. We need a striker, for me, that is going to push Jatta, not just be there when he's not playing. We need someone to offer something different. Because I think I said it in the video after the game on Tuesday. We need a different dimension up top, because it is very one dimensional. And Jatta he's a good player, but he just misses that purest striker's instinct for me. Do you know what I mean?
Take the last two games. One, he rounds the goalkeeper and should just have a shot. Like, even, do you know, you get some strikers that even if the best option isn't to have a shot, they'll have a shot. He didn't do that. And then the one that was flashed across from, it might have been George Abbott, put across him right at the start of the second half against Carlisle, and he misjudged the flight of the ball. And look, I'm not getting on. I'm just picking. We say how good Jatta is, but like, some strikers would put that away, and I've seen Jatta do it a couple of times.
Do you know? Sorry to interrupt you there. Just to stay on this topic. Stallard. He said something that I thought was quite relative to us, and it does make you think. If Lee Hughes is in that position where he's rounded the keeper and he's that tight, what do you think he's going to do?
He's shooting every day.
Exactly. That's what you need from your striker. You need him to back himself every time, and it's difficult because he did a similar thing at Walsall at home, didn't he? Where he's rounded the keeper and not put enough on it to get it over the line. Yeah. It was an unbelievable sort of save off the line, wasn't it?
Yeah.
By their defender. Can you remember?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ewan disagrees with you and said, not sure we're one-dimensional up top.
I think we are, though. Are we getting him behind? Do you know what I mean? Like, you think, who was it on Carlisle? How many times did they play a ball for him behind?
I would say we get in behind. I'd say we do put the ball in behind to Jatta, but then it's always cut back. So it's not really an in behind opportunity, is it? He does get in behind. I know what you're saying. But where I think one dimensional is, how many times have we really, and I'm talking about consistently, scored from getting in behind? Because no one's keeping up with him. Do you know what infuriated me on Tuesday night? And I know we got the win. Yeah, win's a win. And yeah, Richard says good hold up play by Jatta Tuesday. I agree with that. Yeah, he's getting very good at taking the ball down on his chest, cutting inside, playing it out to the wings. Is that quite often? I don't know how many times I saw just Jatta and Didzy in the opposition half. Do you know, if we saw someone with a little bit more pace, we'd probably score another. Well, we definitely score another goal, because we could have popped it in behind. It was good to see Jarvis get on the end of one of them, but I don't know whether, from where I was, that there was a lot more cover, but I thought I'd love to have seen him just burst through and score. Lost the ball. He's not fully in the rhythm, is he? Let's be honest. He's not had a massive amount of football, and he's not played for Notts that long. Someone said Jatta looked tired. What do you think to that?
I thought a couple of the players looked tired, to be honest. I think Jatta, I thought Bedu looked a bit tired at times.
Yeah.
The player for me that is just an absolute machine is obviously Abbott, but he's young, he's got youth on his side. But McGoldrick is something else. He doesn't stop running. You'd even say surely he's covered the most distance in the squad.
Him or Abbott?
Yeah. Someone's put it in the chat here. The amount of chasing down that he's been doing, unbelievable.
Yeah. He's desperate for Matty Palmer back with him, though, isn't he?
I think the midfield's dying out for Matty Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah, but that Matty Palmer's in. Well, I'm assuming he'll be back. Someone said no presser today. I'm assuming he'll be back for Saturday away at Gillingham. But like, what if there was a longer term injury to Matty Palmer, for example? That is why we're going to get onto it in a second. That I think that there has to be a couple of signings coming in. So that's what I do. Someone said earlier in the chat, I want to bring it back, that they were buying Notts County taught dressing gown. Would you make some of them?
Potentially.
Fair enough. Sorry, going off on the tangent then. Just had to get that out there. I think it's a good point you make about it being one-dimensional, because even if we're not one-dimensional, people have said here they thought Jetta looked tired. So you need another option. There isn't an option at the minute. There's no striker we can bring on. You've got Junior Morais has just come back from Dagenham. Not going to play. We've got no striker. Shelbourne fans kind of were like, oh, well, you might be able to play Jarvis in the middle. We're not at the stage now where we might need to play Jarvis in the middle. We need someone that we can play in there. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. The problem we've got is we kind of need someone to come in and, like I've already said, push Jetta, but sort of hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? Like
he did. Well, he didn't for 2 or 3 games. Then he did, didn't he? Because you think Bradford away.
Yeah.
But there's someone said, can we buy Linney from Altrincham? What? We do have the money, I assume. I mean, I haven't seen the accounts, but look, we've sold Crowley for money. We've sold Neman for money. We've sold Maka for big money. We've just taken Aidan Stone, who we'll chat about in a minute, off the wage bill. I think we are being run excellently as a club. Excellently. On the pitch, we're progressing, and whether you can't say we're not progressing, because we were National League 2 years ago. We're in a better position than we were this time last year. So by the definition of it, that's progression. So you can't say we're not progressing as a club.
Yeah.
Off the pitch is great. On the pitch is great, right? But this is, and I don't want to keep saying it, this is an opportunity this season. Would you say right now, if you were to rate how well Notts have played this season out of 10, and try and do it on the whole, I'm not going to say they played 10 out of 10. I'm not going to say they've played 9. I'm not going to say they've played 8 out of 10. I would probably say for this season, I think we've probably played 7 out of 10. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're probably about right, to be honest. I think it's weighing up between, when I think of the games at home where we've played well and not managed to score and get a result, compared to Carlisle, where we look at the player ratings that we did, they were all like 6s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think my highest was a 7. So in those games, like, we've probably done just enough to deserve a win. I don't think we have been sort of outstanding, but we've just been a bit more resilient at the back. I think that's the difference.
So this is what.
Whereas last season it was probably, maybe not last season, but the start of last season was probably a bit more easier on the eye because of the way we was playing, and the football was just crazy, wasn't it? This season is probably, it's still easy-ish on the eye, but not as easy on the eye as it was, when we was obviously getting promoted and things like that. Because the defense is just solid, isn't it?
It's exactly what I was saying, right? This was the point I was making with that scoring. We've had people said 6, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Ian said 8 away, 6 at home, which averages out at 7, right? We've both agreed that we probably have played 7 out of 10 in terms of how well we played this season. We're in the automatic places playing 7 out of 10. That's why it's an opportunity. Last season, you play 7 out of 10, you're edge of the playoffs because you're getting nowhere near Wrexham, Mansfield, Stockport. Like, and I don't mean it in this way. We're being sustainable when there's being stupid. And I'm not saying that's the way I'm putting it, but without saying we're not being stupid if we don't bring anyone in. But it's like they must see what the fans see. 1, 2, but even 1 really, really good player that maybe has promotion experience from League Two, or like you say, is ready to go straight away, or is currently playing in League Two. Not someone that, and I'm not saying these aren't good signings because they might turn out to be great. A player that's come back from injury from Everton's academy, and a player that's not really played much for Hull and has played for Shelbourne not that long ago, right? They just bring one player in, one or two players in that get us over the line, because they could be the difference between automatic and playoffs. And like you said to me the other day, just joking around as we were chatting, I don't want to do the playoffs again. I know we did it a couple of years ago. I don't want to do that.
Absolutely not. But I don't know. I think they probably see it from two angles. Do they risk the level of sustainability for sort of one player, and then it not working out, or do they progressively invest in younger players that are going to get better as time goes on? Because I think whether we get promoted or not this season, we're still going to be, a good team in League Two. Do you know what I mean? That are going to be up there, and we're only going to get better. Like, you think,
yeah,
the teams that come up from the National League, they'll be okay. The teams that get relegated from League One, they'll be decent, but they're not going to be like Wrexham, Stockport, Mansfield level, are they? Do you know what I mean?
At the moment, you're looking at.
I still think that as much as the Notts County fan in me would love to see us sign like a worldy striker and as be amazing and stuff like that. Like, our history would tell us that it's not the right thing to do all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. The only thing I would maybe disagree with there is you say we're only going to get better, or we would still be. I don't know. I think you potentially, if we don't go up, you potentially lose Jody Jones, you lose Jatta, you potentially lose Matty Platt,
the
Jacob
history of this
Bedu.
ownership can only really suggest that it can only get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But we haven't had we haven't had a season where a massive influx of players go.
Yeah, because we've always been competing.
Yeah, but if we don't go up again,
yeah,
like it's the same.
Realistically, who do we lose if we don't go up again? Jatta and Jody, do you think?
Possibly Bedu.
I don't think Bedu. His contract's too long. I think Jatta and Jody are probably the only players that we lose.
Did might not play another season?
I think he probably will, but I mean, let's say he doesn't. Then you've lost Didsey, you've lost Jones, you've lost Jatta. I'd argue that we wouldn't lose Jones because I think, look at his history of injuries. He's just come back from another big injury as well. It's a big punt for a club, isn't it?
Ian reckons Bass will be gone without promotion.
I don't think so. His contract's too long.
How long?
He's got another 2 years.
Has he? Was it a 3-year deal?
I'm sure it was, yeah. Even if it's 2 years, like.
Yeah, but you say what? You say what would lose Jatta and Jody?
I don't think we're going to get ripped apart, are we?
Not ripped apart. Not to the same level ripped apart as if we hadn't have got promoted in the National League season. Then we would have been absolutely decimated.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's easy to panic, but I don't think we'd lose as many as you think. It's like when we got promoted, everyone was saying Maka was going, and we had him for another season. Yeah.
But I mean, right now, then, so go back to that promotion sort of picture we're talking about. If we don't make another signing, do you see us with the current squad finishing automatics? I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, it's close.
If we bring in one or even two, solid players, it could really push it up. We revisit this quite a few times, I still think my gut's telling me that we finished third. That's what my gut's telling me. I think Walsall, yes, we're closing in on them, but come on. I mean, it would take a monumental collapse. And I'm looking at you, Walsall media admin. Monumental collapse, right? And it would be one for the ages.
It would, yeah.
We've given 4 points to them in a week. And I think Doncaster are a really good team. And Doncaster are a team that can put runs together under this manager because we've seen them do it before. They went to Barrow yesterday, who have a new manager, so it's not an easy game. We went to Barrow; it was a difficult game, wasn't it? We watched it. We did a watch along, and they've done it pretty easily. I mean, Carl Cameron's helped them out massively. But have you seen that mistake?
It's bad.
Oh my goodness me!
It's bad.
From kickoff as well, directly from kickoff. Shocking. But like a few people said here, we are in a good place. We're definitely in a good place. We're sat in third. It's very, very tight in that like second to sort of sixth spot. But someone worked out, and I had a quick look at it. Someone reckoned we only need 11 wins out of the final 18, I think it is, or 19 games. 11 out of the final 18 or 19 games to sort of get promotion. I had a look back. It's something like the last 10 years, only one team hasn't gone up with 80 points because it puts on 80. Only one team hasn't gone up on 80 points, and that team finished level and missed out on goal difference. So 11 wins from 19 with a large proportion at home. And I know our home form's not incredible, but we're keeping clean sheets at home. You've got to say that it's looking fairly favourable. But we know football is not that easy, don't we? Morecambe coming up next at home, 2 weeks. Rock bottom of the league. I don't think they're as good a team as Carlisle. I think Carlisle might actually stay up. I'm worried about Tranmere right now. After they capitulated against Swindon. You look at Morecambe, you've got to take 3 points from Morecambe. How big's Saturday's game then? Just to keep us ticking over.
They're all big now, aren't they? They're all going to have that sort of similar feel to them, and it's sort of like the business side of the season, isn't it? Now, it's where it starts to get really exciting, and you start looking at the table a lot more and looking who's winning what. This is what it comes down to, really. It's going to be an interesting few months, I think.
Have you seen the kind of drop off from sort of 8th or 9th place down?
Yeah, it's starting to the gap's starting to grow now, isn't it?
Yeah, Salford is sort of falling away. Grimsby haven't had a fantastic time of it lately. Chesterfield, have you seen Chesterfield sign that centre back and he's injured, knee injury, 8 days after signing?
Yeah.
They can't catch a break, but at the same time, we have massive injuries as well. I think they probably have more than us, but we had some big injuries. What do you make of this 12:30 on Saturday at Gillingham? Because I'm going to put it out there. I personally, if I'm doing it from my perspective, I know it's not great for a lot of football fans. It doesn't bother me that much, the movement of Sky, purely because I can attend a lot of the games and the change in times doesn't affect me too much. Thursday's a bit of a pain for Port Vale, but I can still make it. My work, the time I start and finish work means that's fine for me. You will get the odd one like this. I cannot make Gillingham purely down to the timing. What do you make of a 12:30 trip to Gillingham? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm always a bit torn on things like this because I do just like the 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday. The classic. You can't really beat it, and for a lot of people that religiously go to home and away, they'll sort of have that sort of routine of, oh, we've got this team today, we'll go at this time, and it just throws things out, doesn't it? And it's quite a long journey, isn't it, really, to Gillingham? So it's going to be a very, very early start. So yeah, the part of me that doesn't like it is it's like the Sky use it to their benefit so they can televise it and make money from it. And it just makes it a little bit more difficult, I think, for fans to attend. And easier for fans to turn around and say, well, if it's going to be on TV and it's going to make it more difficult, I'll just watch it on TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. On the flip side, it has made it a lot more accessible this season to watch Notts.
Yeah, but I think if you wanted to watch Notts, you should go and watch them, unless you can't. Do you know what I mean? Yes,
but so what about those fans that live miles and miles away? I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer to it. I understand this pleasure for it,
but you can't. With the most respect, the vast majority of football fans, especially Notts County fans, I'm not talking about like Man United who'll be spread across the world.
Man U fans literally live within 5 miles of Old Trafford, though.
Yeah, but with Notts, it'll be there'll probably be I don't know, a very small scale compared to the amount of people that actually live close to.
No, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? So I get sometimes I suppose you can cater for that, but you have to really think about your sort of bread and butter fans that go to every game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you live more than 50 miles from Meadow Lane. That'd be interesting. We obviously have a few fans that tune in from Australia, which is incredible. I think that's just over 50 miles from Meadow Lane. But yeah, so York based, the Sky Games have been a blessing. Mickey says, as channel member, I live on Sutton and Sea, get there when I can. So yeah, lots of, Will says Manchester. So yeah, interesting to know where Notts fans are, and let us know, because we're interested to know. So I live exactly 50 miles from Meadow Lane, says Chris, probably in Australia then. Gloucester, 160 miles away, Martin, channel member. Pembrokeshire, says Dave. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Australia's 51 miles away, just, Callum says. 52. 51? 52. Suffolk, Norwich season ticket holder and tried to get us Notts a couple of times a year, says Stuart. Interesting. How many miles would you say you live from Meadow Lane, George? I'm probably...
About 3, is it? 4?
5? Not far. Matt, New Zealand, so few more than 50. Well, Australia's 52, I think. So New Zealand's like 55, something like that. John, almost 50 miles. Nuneaton, 10 miles from Coventry. Interesting. If you are new to the channel, please do drop a subscription. We would really, really appreciate that. Yeah, just keep following us for the rest of the season. We'll have content out. We're not going to Gillingham. We'll have content out straight after Gillingham. Richard says you can walk it. You've walked Meadow Lane a few times, haven't you, George, for a game?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely. Went on your scooter, didn't you, on recent game?
That was Jordan, I think.
Is it Jordan?
I haven't got a scooter, so it must have been Jordan.
Jordan
it was rollerblades. Jordan went as rollerblades.
The ones where the wheels light up as they move?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool. They were for Christmas, weren't they? They were for Christmas. I think they were off Will for Christmas. Secret Santa. I got you with that dressing gown you're wearing for Secret Santa.
Lose track, I do.
Yeah. I got you that dressing gown, but still. Right. I don't know what to say about lineup, because there's been a few question marks over McDonald, and I thought Johnson came in and played well. But what I would say is Johnson came in and played well, and we didn't really see him playing a Notts style because we were just kind of penned in for a bit against second to bottom Carlisle. What would you do? Would you keep McDonald in there, who I don't think's been too bad, but a lot of people seem to be seeing it differently to me? What do you think?
I'd keep him. I think he's been all right.
Do we need would you have Macari back when he's fit? It's going to be a while, but do you think we're missing him at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I think Rod sort of fills in, doesn't he? Really, for Macari. So look, they all have a mistake in them, don't they? If we're going to be honest, but I think McDonald's been fairly sound, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's a bit of an issue playing. No, I wouldn't say playing out from the back. I mean, I think he's done all right. I don't think you can say much more. Will we see Johnson play? I don't think so. Here's a question then. What's your ideal starting 11 has just been asked to us. Ideal starting 11. I think same formation. Bass. This is a good question, actually. Bass. Bedu on the left. Platt in the middle. Macari on the right. That's my ideal. Cerullo on the left wing back. Jody on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your midfield too?
Abbott and Palmer.
Yeah. And then what? Then I think Conor Grant's position's properly up in the air.
I'd probably say put Conor Grant in there.
Would you?
I think he's been all right, and I think we've just got to give him a run of games. Do you know what I mean? Just stick with it a little bit, and if the levels are still there, just stick with him, and I think he'll come good. To be honest, I'm not saying he's not been good. I think he's been okay, but I think we've just got to stick with him a little bit. And then obviously McGoldrick and Jata.
Yeah, fair enough. What I would say though, do you know what I really liked? And I mentioned it in the video on the It's All Black and White video. I really, really liked the little cameo from Curtis Edwards. I thought it was really, really good. Not blessed with pace, but I mean, he got really, really stuck in, didn't he? He did get stuck in. But what I started, I think Maynard obviously likes Grant, doesn't he? Likes Grant a lot. So I probably stick him in there. Ewan says Grant polarizes fans more than McDonald. Yeah, interesting one. I kind of thought we might genuinely see Whittaker slot straight in there, but that's not been the case, and he's not brought him on either in the last game, did he? Let's go for our lineup for this game then. It's very similar to what I've just had. The only change is from that, it would be
McDonald in for Macari and someone in for Palmer.
Palmer will play, surely.
Think?
Yeah, I think he was waiting. He was either waiting for swelling to go down or waiting to receive a mask to play in, I think. I don't think it was anything to do with like concussion like we had with Jata.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's just...
There you go then.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I'm going with that. I'm interested that Gordon came on.
Played all right
I thought he was a little bit thin. Yeah, he was all right. And did you see he put a little message out on one of the social medias basically saying, great to be back out there, good win, kind of things like that, like positivity. I like that. You kind of think now, like when you get things like that, Jody put in choosing out under the lights, weren't at our best, but a win's a win. You know, the players kind of sense now we're getting to that business end of the season, even though we've still got not too much less than half the games to go. So interesting one. Right, let's get our score prediction in. Well done if you did get Sivard Sprockle for tonight's player anagram. It's a good one. What a player. What a player. His pace, unreal. 19 games. So yeah, 19 games left. Tough in there. Who have we got in there? Chesterfield at home, MK at home, Port Vale away. They're going to be tricky. Crewe at home. No, we're not got Crewe at home. We played Crewe at home again. Have we got Crewe at home? We've been away to Crewe.
Yeah, I think we have, haven't we?
Did we lose at home to Crewe? I don't know. We'll see. Right, score prediction, George. What have you got?
Going for a 2-1. Nuts.
Really? Who scores and when?
Jata. 17 minutes. Then McGoldrick. 78 minutes.
If that happens, oh my goodness. I'm going to go 1-1. And I'll tell you what, I don't think that would actually be a fantastic result. Because they've got 2 points from 18. Speaking to Gillingham fans, haven't we? There seems to be a bit of a disconnect with the club and what's doing at the minute. They've got John Coleman in. So not, I think he's a good manager, but it's not quite clicked yet. They're just a very, very strange team. They're really strange. Chris has put it there. I'm not going to read out what Chris has put, but I mean, he sums up Gillingham at the minute pretty well there. They're just. We've got to be going there and hoping to win. I mean, it was great last year when Macari scored that absolute screamer to win the game for us in the 81st or 82nd minute. But I think we'll get 1-1. If we win away at Gillingham again, did you hear Will after the Carlisle game say we wouldn't have won that last year? I think when the pressure's on us to go to Gillingham aren't playing well, I think we'll really would have made a mess of it last year.
Yeah,
I don't want us to make a mess of it. Chris said we're a bit of a bogey team for us. Yeah, you might be right, but I think 1-1. I think Jatta will score again to up that to 12 million on deadline day for Plymouth anyway, the way they're playing. But yeah, you've got to have a win. Quite a few people here saying 1-0, 2-0, another clean sheet. Yeah, 11 clean sheets this season. 2-1, we've got the Chicks and hat trick in there. We've got 3-0, we've got 2-0. 2-0, Didsy and Jody says K. Len says 3-0 to Notts. Let's hope. And we've still got that game in hand. Martin, channel member, says 2-1 Notts. Interesting. Right. If you are watching, especially if you're travelling to Gillingham, safe travels, that's fantastic. Even though not to put subsidised travel on, there will be fans that are travelling without that subsidised travel, getting trains, which I've looked at, expensive. 160 miles from where I live to Gillingham. Some fans will obviously be travelling a lot further. So honestly, fair play to you. Let us know what you think after the game, because we are going to be posting a reaction to that match. Should be a cracker. Hopefully we return next week with another win, pushes maybe into second place, who knows. As always, please do leave a like on the video, drop a subscription, and anything else you think of post stream, please do leave that comment in the comments section.